Three, two, one. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Threeface and today I'm gonna make a quick video about tips and other things that you probably did not know about Rainbow Six Siege or already did know. It's just a compilation, just random things I have noticed while playing this game, and I thought this will help you during this gameplay. So let's get started. The first thing is about shield operators. If you press the button that is designated to swap weapons and other while using a shield operator, it will equip and de-equip the shield. So it's a quick tip. This will allow you to maybe run a bit faster. Now the number two is you can actually drop down from this skyline on this map. I think it's Cafe Duskovsky or whatever. This will allow you to drop down rather quick and not be vulnerable to an easy kill by the enemy, and will save you a bit of time. The third thing is, do you see this dome kind of thing on border the map? By the surrounding you can actually find it rather easy. It's not the dome. It's pretty obvious. You can actually throw down nades from this skyline. You can get an easy kill. You can throw down a stun grenade, even smart grenade, drones if you want. It will be a good way to surprise your enemies, maybe get a lucky kill, or even just disorient them for a second while your team push for the objective. In this footage you're gonna see where the nades landed, so it's a pretty good spot for you and your enemies, for you and your teammates to maybe to throw a couple of nades or smoke, stun, drones, whatever. I actually got a kill this way, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, now for number 4, you can actually fuse some reinforced walls. I have no idea if you noticed this or not, but some reinforced walls on some maps, there is like a gap just above the end of the reinforced wall. Like there is a small gap between the ceiling and the end of the reinforcement itself. If you place your cluster charge right, you will get the option to deploy. You can actually fuse it. Not all maps have this option because sometimes the reinforcement will go all the way to the ceiling, but on some other maps there is. And I actually got a footage of it on clutch kills which I got a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. You can also see it. So it is doable. You might want to try it. Number 5. You can ceiling bang, as I like to call it. If you know the enemy is under you, you have a life tag or a teammate calling out the exact position, and you know that ceiling is breakable, you can destroy it. I suggest that you shoot immediately at that life tag. You might probably get a lucky kill. This will help you a lot. Also, use the charges to open lines outside on your enemies. You will have the advantage over them and you might get a kill or two. Number 6. I don't know if I mentioned this at my latest video or not. Also tips and other tricks. I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you want to check that out. Which is, Hipfire is better at close range. If you are extreme close ranges, sometimes it's better to Hipfire because you want the bullet to spread at the most surface area possible to land as much shots on your targets and get an easy kill. Sometimes it's pretty hard to aim down sight while the enemy is really close to you and you might miss a lot of your shots, so I suggest you just fire. Number 7 is actually pretty obvious and I'm sure a lot of you know it, but you really don't know how to use it properly. Pre-fire to counter Pika's advantage. If you know somebody is trying to peek you at a corner, just staff fire a bullet or 2 bullets at a time. Even if they have the Pika's advantage on you, you might even get lucky and get a headshot or do some damage to them probably resulting in killing your enemy or even holding them back and not letting them peek you anymore. So I suggest that you try this, especially on fast enemies like Jaeger, IQ, Ash, or Buck. So it's worth a shot. Number 8. Number 8 is about two specific operators, Mute and Castle. If you are playing Mute and you have a Castle on your teammate, always jam the windows that or the doors that he reinforced. So a fuse cannot really fuse the objective, because that will give him an advantage over you, because he can damage you, he can kill you, and you cannot basically shoot him. Also, if you are a castle player, always say to your mute, hey dude, can you mute this window on the objective? Can you mute this door, so you can be safe from the fuse charge. Number 9. You can actually shoot through fuse cluster hole. If you are like on maybe a hatch, a window, or a door, if you can see there is like maybe a 3 or 4 inch hole in the wall. If you see the enemy, you can actually shoot him through this hole. This will be very helpful to take down maybe someone trying to peek you, or even Fuse himself trying to put another cluster charge on the same window or on the same door. I got in a couple of kills this way on either side, whether I was Fuse and trying to kill an enemy, or someone or I was on the defense side and killed a Fuse this way. Number 10 is pretty simple. You can shoot through glass of cars. Some maps have cars like dispatched randomly around the objective, so if someone is trying to peek you, you have a very good line of sight on him if you like hide behind a car and shoot him through the window, or maybe like the windshield, because 90% of spawn killers will not expect this tactic, and I have gotten a couple of kills on really good players, but they did not expect this angle, or they did not expect this tactic. Number 11. This is pretty a straightforward one. Always watch the flank. If you are an attacker or a defender, if you have a couple of teammates watching the obvious route, always watch the flank. The flank is very important to watch because if you are an attacker, one defender can wipe out your entire teammate, as well as if you are a defender, one attacker can wipe out your entire teammate. So always watch the flank. Make sure that all maybe ways to get to the objective are secured and covered, so you don't get flanked and lose the round pretty easy. Number 12 is pretty obvious as well. Shoot the feet under the castle barricade. If you have a castle barricade and someone trying to cluster charge you or breach charge the castle, watch under the door. You can do some damage to them. They will probably freak out and move a bit back. This will hold them back, and sometimes I was able even to down enemies because they did not have any idea where they were getting shot from, and they kept doing the cluster charge or the breach charge animation, and I took them down pretty easily. Number 13 is cook the nade. You have to like cook the nade as to the extreme possible or to the extreme possible second that you can, because you want to get you want to give the defender as much as little time that you can to escape or move away from the nade. So cook the nade to an extent. Just experiment a little bit with it, so you can know or understand how much time until the grenade detonates, or how much time do you have before throwing the nade. Number 14 is pretty simple, pretty simple, but is pretty obvious as well. Use smoke to cover your advance or retreat. Even if you are an attacker popping smoke, or you are a defender, sometimes the smoke will help you just to cover the last minute retreat, or maybe make it easier for the attacking team or the defending team to find you out. So use it carefully, just don't spam it in one location. It's a pretty important tool, and you can have a great advantage over the enemy team. 15 is about Doc. His stem pistol actually has some incredible range. I mean, I have tested out to maybe 15 or 16 meters. You can revive your teammates with the stem pistol, and I'm gonna give you a quick guide of about this specific operator, because on my last ranked match we had a player who did not actually know how the stem pistol works, and I was down in a safe location, and he has a line of sight on me, but he thought he has to be really close to me so he can revive me, and we lost the match because of that. So the stun pistol is activated with a special button. On PS4 it's R1. I think on Xbox is it's R. I think it's also, I really don't know. I think it's R1, something like R1, and PC it's like the middle button or the scroll button. So what you want to do is when you equip it, when you see the stem pistol, there is two possible outcomes. The first one, if you press the same button that came the that made the stem pistol pop out, you will heal yourself, or you will be able to up yourself from the down but not out stage if you got down by the enemy. 2. If you have the stem pistol and you equip it, you can actually use the fire button on every platform, console or PC to revive your teammate. This is how the Doc pistol works. I'm sure a lot of players out there know it, but maybe after Christmas, the Christmas noobs, a lot of them, maybe 3 or 4 matches, I have seen them make the same mistake, so I made this for these guys. They really need to learn, so I hope this video will get to them. Number 16. Switching to your sidearm is quicker than reloading. Sometimes if you're in a jam, if the enemy is really close, you have no rounds in your primary weapon, I suggest that you switch to your secondary weapon to get the kill or finish off your enemy, because it's a lot quicker than reloading. Number 17 is pretty obvious as well. Do not reinforce between bomb site. I see that a lot, whether it was on casual and sometimes even on rank. Do not reinforce between bomb site. You want to keep as much as possible, as much as lines of sight possible, in order to kill the enemy, or someone is trying to maybe push for a specific bomb site. You can get him from a safe distance and also deny him the plant. 17 is about two specific operators, Bandit and Mute. Always keep a Bandit battery or a Mute jammer in hand, just in case that someone is trying to maybe cluster charge you or whatever. If you know they are going to do that specific animation, this will come in handy. Place them down real quick, do the bandit trick, or also I call it the mute trick. When I see someone is trying to maybe breach from an unreinforced wall or some hatch or some door that my teammate did not expect, I run away, put the jammer, and I get the +10 signal distributor, or the +10 like the bandit thing, which is gonna slow down the enemy team, or they might even consider another route, and that, like, these couple of seconds that you made the other team waste is going to be very valuable to you. Number 18 is pretty obvious as well. You just have to barricade behind you. If you clear the room or clear the path, or you know that an enemy pushed through this specific door, reinforce behind you, so you know that this is a dead end for the enemy or for your fellow teammates. So if someone's tried to breach it and it's not your teammate, you will know that someone passed through here, and you will have a general idea where the enemy team is. Number 19. If you are new to the game, I suggest that you pick last, because a lot of the time, especially in ranked, a lot of players only main a character or two. So if you pick last, you will have, you will maybe give them the chance to pick their favorite, to pick the most powerful operator that they can play, and also this will give you the chance to maybe play another character or another operator that you don't usually play with. The whole concept about Rainbow Six Siege is that you have to win as a team. You don't have to win as a character, you don't have to win as a single player. Giving your teammate the best advantage over you since you are new, that will help you a lot. They will respect that. Also, if you want to play a certain character, just ask the player, hey dude, hey guy, can I use this one this round? A lot of players will say yes, and just because you ask nicely. That's it. 20. If you are an attacker, I suggest that you keep the angle as wide as possible. This will give you enough time and enough space to peek every inch of that corner without getting shot. And if you are a defender, I suggest that you keep the angle as tight as possible. This will allow the attacker to come within your line of sight and kill him. 21. Knife if you are up close and personal. Don't go for the pistol headshot or the maybe reload. If the enemy is that close to you, I suggest that you just go for the knife. It's a one shot kill and you will come out on top, especially if the other team player is trying to maybe swipe to his pistol or to reload his primary. Number 22. Always place the mute jammer between reinforcements. What I mean is, when you see two reinforced walls, you see this like little line suggesting that this reinforcement ends here and this one begins here. Always place the mute jammer directly upon this line, because this will give you the most surface area to jam, and this will make the other team like suffer greatly to find a sweet spot that is not jammed for them to breach. 23. If you see on your screen like +10 enemy ID, whether you are on cams or aiming down side or whatever, there is probably an enemy on your screen that you just did not realize, or you just missed him. I first, like when I was like on my cams or aiming down sight or whatever, when I get this message, I was like, okay, there is no enemy there. I think the game lagged. Then after a couple of times, I actually started to notice enemies there I have not been able to notice at first, but because this popped out on my screen, I was able to find them and kill them. So keep on that if the next time pop out on your screen. 24 is pretty obvious. I call it aim high or pre-aim. If you know the position of an enemy is at that corner or at that room, always put your aim at that specific spot or direction in order to kill them rather quick and rather easily, whether you are entering a room, repelling to a room, or even just peeking. That will give you the advantage over your teammate, over your enemy, and kill them rather quick. 25 is also will help you to win a lot of firefight. Is fire before you aim down sight. If the enemy is within maybe 15 meters, I suggest that you fire before you aim down sight, then you aim down sight. Like if you are on console, that will be a lot of easier. Just hold the fire button, then ADS as soon as possible, because like within that Hipfire, you might able to land a shot or two on him, giving you a quick kill on your enemy and also an advantage. So guys, this has been my tips for this video. If you like or dislike this video, as you please. Also subscribe to my channel for more. I'm going to be doing a couple of these, maybe one of those maybe every week or so. If you want interested to see my first video, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye guys.